Hi, welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. And so, we have a good story today. We're going to be talking about T.I.'s son King, what went down at the Waffle House, and T.I.'s response. So, let's get into it, you guys.
Don't talk about it like you're crazy. You know damn well I can't replace you. Just say what you mean. Don't waste.
But what I'm saying is, they
You
wasn't.
can talk like that outside.
Hey, I can talk how the I want to wherever I'm at. I'm on live, Shawty. Stop talking to me. Stop talking to me. This ain't your fucking restaurant. This ain't your fucking restaurant. Everything you make, I can pull out my pocket right now. I ain't tripping on you. I ain't tripping. Get the hell out of my face.
He said, "This ain't your restaurant. Get the F out of my face." And he pulled out all this money. Oh my gosh. So, the disrespect. This little boy is disrespectful. And he talking to grown folk in the Waffle House.
Yeah, I didn't grow up in a time when you disrespect your elders. At least it sounds like maybe the manager or whoever it is. I'm sure that's an adult. He's still underage to me. I don't care that he just graduated high school. He's still a young adult. We can say it that way. So some respect should be given right now. You're at somebody's job. You're at their place of work. You know, that's crazy.
He flashing his money like that. I don't know where he at, but out here in Houston.
Flashing his daddy money.
Or whoever money is. You flash your money out here in Houston, it's gonna get took. So, all right, we'll just get back into that. I just wanted to comment on this foolery.
I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. Who the hell is he? What's your name? My name King. You know it and your mama know it. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day.
Whoa. That's so disrespectful. And I know I've said disrespect a lot. Man, I would never. Did y'all hear what he said? The guy said, man, y'all stop talking to him. And he turns around and says, who are you? And I guess because he's T.I.'s son, his response was, you know who I am. And your mama. How your mama doing? That's disrespectful. For him to be from the streets, as this image that he's putting out, you street, you know you don't play with women or children. That's like a soft spot for anybody. Very, very soft spot. That's disrespectful.
I don't know why people think it's cool to be disrespectful. I know this is Drake's fault. Because he started it. I go 0 to 100 real quick. Real quick. Everybody just thought that was so cool. And then you got people, I go 0 to 100. Don't mess with me. I don't know why everybody thinks that it's just cool to be disrespectful and to start yelling and, trying to make other people feel like they less than you. That's just not cool. And it's just so childish. It's just all about the ego at this point. It's so childish.
Wow, so
Come back.
what? On game what? On game what? Come here. And I'll show you what I do. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. Come on. We out here. I'm outside. Okay. I'm outside. Come on, shake some. Could have been handled different. At that moment, it just threw my food on the ground and told. I could have just said, give me my money back. I didn't even eat the food. But it's just the principle. Like, you just did, like, you just really, like, slapped me in my face, threw my food on the, like, what? And then he told me to come outside and fight him. What? That's where it went over the top. That told me to step outside and fight him. What? So that's when I really turned up. All right, bitch, I had to come out at the moment. That's what I was thinking at the moment.
Okay, so he's too young and inexperienced to understand. He told you to step outside because you mentioned something about his mother. Period. A guy that said, hey, stop talking to him. That sounds like someone's trying to de-escalate the problem. And it sounds like they're arguing over some pickles on a sandwich. Some pickles.
Petty.
And then he said, we outside. right? So he's not by himself. He's telling this guy who the guy was like, run up basically, like just you by yourself. He said, well, no. On gang, come outside because we out here. Now, what idiot is going to do that with this guy and his crew? You know, Ron White had a stand-up comedy where he said he didn't know how many guys it would take to beat him up, but he knew how many they were going to use. And that's valid, some valid information to have. So that guy was smart enough to stay inside. Plus, he's at work. He's not going to lose his job behind some kid who is living underneath his daddy's fame. I don't care about your little TV show or whatever it is. But of course, you know, T.I. had to respond to this, and I want to see what this man says about his son misbehavior. I can't wait to see.
But I did want to point out real quick, because he was talking about, oh, it's just the principle. It's just the principle. Well, how about the principle of respecting a place of business? Not going in there acting like a fool, being loud, yelling, cursing the people that work there who were very important during the pandemic, who kept y'all fed. It's still a pandemic. They still out there risking their lives to work and to feed you. How about that principle of respecting working people? You may be more blessed or may have more resources and money than them, but that does not mean that you go out and flex and pull out your money. What about those principles? What about having respect? And if someone asks you to leave because you're disrespecting a place of business where families go to eat, to have a good time, they don't want any drama or chaos, how about that principle? If they ask you to go outside, you go outside or you go somewhere else. You don't have to throwing up on gang and causing a whole scene, throwing your food on the ground, telling them to come outside and fight you. He didn't want to go out and fight you. He's at work. He don't got time for that. He don't got a daddy with money that's gonna take care of him or pay his bills if he goes and lose his jobs over some fuckery. No.
Well, even on another level, I bet you he didn't do that to the network. If he had issues with staff when they were filming the TV show that they were on, I don't know the name of Grant. What was the name of the
Family Hustle?
I don't know what it is. I
even
guarantee you, King was not dealing with those people in the same manner as he's dealing with these people. It's just a fact that he just feels like they're beneath him.
Yeah, it's the principle.
The principle. What principle? Because somebody made a mistake at a fast food restaurant?
It happens every day. It's not that serious. You can either get your money back or you can just take the damn pickles off your bun. Or you can just ask them to remake it and they'll do it.
Or refund. There were other ways to deal with it.
Whatever. It's not that serious. That is just so petty. So that's all I wanted to bring up. So yeah, we about to check out T.I.'s response, see what he say. I hope he put his son in his place.
Let's see what my boy said.
I got a son, 17 years old, graduated with honors, AB honor roll. A few people picked it up. A few people talked about it. A few people, congratulated us, and I appreciate that. I really do. I value that. No matter how major or minute, I appreciate any consideration and appreciation given to my family. Any celebratory comments, appreciate all of it, right? It seems as though the news of that was halted because it was in competition with some kind of minor ass remedial petty skirmish that happened at Waffle House. Now, hey, listen, bruh, anybody in here who's my age or even close to my age, you done been young before. You know what I mean? Come on, bro.
I can't because he said, like, he just started off, well, my son graduated with honors and no one reported that. A few people picked it up, but instead everyone wants to focus on this minute, petty. He's right about that. It's super petty. This news that happened at the Waffle House. So I'm sorry, I just had a comment on that. Like, bro, you starting this off by saying how he graduated with honors at 17. I wouldn't even start off the response with that because no child that graduates early with honors is going to act like that. You would expect them to to carry themselves with more respect and more dignity, especially if they're representing a school, private school, whatever, where they're representing that institution to show that they got the proper and good education that they were supposed to get. They're representing that institution. King is representing that institution. King is representing you. So as you're right, the fact that he graduated with honors should be worthy news. But this news that happened at the Waffle House is bigger than that. Why? T.I. doesn't want people to focus on the fact that his son just caused all this chaos at the Waffle House, and the media is reporting on it more than they're reporting on the fact that he graduated early at 17 with honors. He doesn't like that, and you're right, Ti. It is super petty and unnecessary that he did that. But I don't think you should be mad at the media for reporting it. So he's instantly trying to downplay the whole thing. So I already know where this is gonna go.
Yeah, well, I had a friend tell me, don't confuse being educated with being intelligent. It made me remember growing up, I used to have someone say, "You're an educated fool." And I didn't understand that until that very, very moment I saw this video. Right? So now it has me questioning. Watch this. Hold on. See where I'm going with it. If your son really earned the AB honor roll. Think about this for a second, y'all. Name any celebrity child that didn't graduate high school, or if they did, if they wasn't at like the top of their class. Right? I would almost speculate that because of his daddy's popularity, that there's some pressure put on him as far as making sure that he graduated. Think about it. If we don't know how invested T.I. is into this school financially. Can you imagine being the person that failed his son? The backlash that would come from that? There's a lot of schools where they're elite children with parents that have money, that the parents actually run the school. And I know this personally, where you can't fail them, even if you wanted to. So as of right now, it has me questioning if his son really earned this AB honor roll, because he shouldn't be out in public acting the way he is.
He sure ain't acting like it.
But we're going to get back into the video.
Let's not forget, they're rich. Let's get back to it.
You know how that's going to go. It's going to be a lot more times where you do the wrong thing before you learn exactly how to do the right thing. Everybody already know that. You know what I mean? I'm not expecting my children not to. I am expecting them not to do it on camera as much. Why in the hell is it more newsworthy to report that this man got into an argument with a short order cook, and less important to speak about the fact that he graduated with honors on the A and B honor roll at 17, not even 18 yet? Why is this? I don't understand what world we're living in. Well, this is what we rather promote, because whether you know it or not, not only are you promoting it, you're not just kind of like putting it out there for my son and like, showing his failures or showing his shortcomings. You're also promoting it to your children and other people's children. Why wouldn't you want to say, hey, look, this is the guy who you saw from, or from this person, or that from these things, and look at what he has been able to do. Even though we saw him in this light, and now here he is in this light.
That don't even make sense. Absolutely no sense. Look, the reality of the situation is your son was live streaming this. You sat here and said, well, I do expect him not to do it on camera. So you're saying it's okay for him to conduct themselves like this privately. So in other words, be fake. Do this privately, but publicly, I need you to act another way, right? And his son is more than likely only dictating behavior that he sees from his daddy. That's the reality of the situation. He wants us to focus on the fact that his son graduated high school, but yet he's running around acting like an idiot. Let's not talk about that. So I'll bring this into a perspective, right? And this happens all the time. You have people that are campaigning for high positions, and what do? They dig up their past. That's just what it is. Because, and we could sit here and say, well, that's what he used to do, right? It's what happened to felons. His dad is a convicted felon, right? So I'm sure T.I., if you wasn't a rapper or whatever, and even as a rapper, it still comes into play. If you were to go to put an application right now, they would take into consideration your past, even though you're not a part of their life. Now, watch this. With all the good that you do, T.I., if you go out there right now and you break the law or you act in a certain type of way, they're always gonna bring up what you did and say he's still doing it today. That's just how it goes. What you need to do right now is structuring your son and stop enabling him from doing this BS.
Mm-hmm. And I like to say, listen here, Mr. Black Lives Matter, Mr. Representative of all Black people.
Trouble man.
You know how this world works. That's why it's important for you to raise your children right, for all of us, not just T.I., all of us. It doesn't matter where you come from, how much money you have. It's important how you represent yourself. It's not about the fact that he graduated early. It's about how he's carrying himself after he's graduated, after we've watched him grow up on T.I. Family Hustle, where you supposedly instilled morals and principles. It's about how they carry themselves after they leave your house, your home, your representation, after they leave that expensive school that I know was a lot of money to pay for, to get him in, to get him all those resources, to have everything that a lot of the people in the hood at that Waffle House, a lot of those people and those children did not have. He had those opportunities. Okay? And another thing I want to say, Mr. Black Lives Matter, you know everything that Black people has gone through throughout history, how we were denied education. We couldn't even read at a certain point, denied these opportunities to have jobs and to be on TV and to make all the money you're making and have that lifestyle. You know that. You know that back then they used to have articles and they would preach in the Bible and say, oh, they're animals. If you give them opportunity, you give them education, they're just still going to be animals. You don't know that? Mr. Black Lives Matter, Mr. Representative of all Black people with money. You didn't tell your son that? The reason why this is so big right now in the media is because guess what? You and your son is proving everybody right. No matter how much money or education you get, you still gonna go out there and act like an animal? That's why it's a big deal, T.I. That's why. I just wanted to point that out, you guys.
Something that made me mad though is when he said, well, they're young, they're gonna do a lot of things wrong before they get things right. Well, hold on, you have all of these resources, right? That's your job to make sure your children don't repeat the same mistakes that you made previously, and you have the resources to prevent this. You can hire staff to follow your son around all day and have somebody in his classroom making sure he stay on course of what he's supposed to be doing. T.I., didn't you lose a friend? Didn't you get locked up? So you're going to let your son go down the same path? I'm going to tell you this, with the way your son is acting, it's only a matter of fact before he really run into somebody who's tough. And you're not going to be there to help him. You're not. And if y'all want to see where some of this behavior is coming from, I was able to pull across this other video real quick. I said, hold on. Like father, like son, right? Because that's what this seemed like. Let's check this out real quick.
I done told you my name. My name is Harry.
You don't talk to me like that, man.
Because you sleep. You waking up. Do your job and hit that button. What's wrong with you? You want me to get out? You want me to hit for you? And hit the button.
Who are you talking to?
Who I'm talking to? I'm talking to the worker at the gate of the property where I pay the mortgage at.
What's up with you, bro? Let's go. Putting your head around me, talking out so like you want to do something. What's up, bro?
Oh, Lord.
What's up, bro?
Nothing.
What? Relax, or what?
Nothing.
Or what?
Nothing.
Or what? Nothing. Because you just drive me like a boat.
This could be a game. You don't even worry.
Keep out your business, man.
Do y'all see how this is very similar? There's other videos I found of his son having a physical altercation. They fight in a school bathroom. He's quick to run out there and throw himself in harmful ways. I don't know where he's getting this from as far as in the real world. Let me tell you something. Your son ain't no gangbanger. You got too much money for that. Too much money to sit here and run around and believe that this is normal. T.I., get your son under control, man, before somebody end up doing something to him or he gets hurt. There's no excuse for this. It couldn't be my son running around like this, and it's public. It's able for anybody to view online.
Yeah, it's ass backwards. TK Kirkland said it on the interview with DJ Vlad, talking about the whole
I think Young Thug, right?
Yeah, the whole Young Thug situation. He said it's ass backwards. Why would you go and hustle and get money to get out of the hood just to make millions of dollars to pay to try to get into the gang so you can have some tough reputation? It's ass backward. That doesn't make sense. Why he's doing that for someone who's been afforded so many resources and money and a really good education, to be being backwards like that. Instead of taking advantage of all those opportunities and resources, you're out here trying to be a tough guy.
Well, let's look at what Jaden did. Let's look at what Jaden did, right? Since King isn't doing anything, from my knowledge, everything that I know, I have not heard of him doing anything as far as giving back, right? Now, look at what Jaden Smith did. When they were having an issue in Flint, Michigan, he went out and started a water, like a
cleaning water, self-cleaning water machine. It's like this machine where it puts out fresh water for them and it cleans that dirty water or something like that. I forgot what it's called.
But he did something where he gave back. He wasn't running around arguing with people at Waffle House, running up on people that said something to you. Like, if you're going to be in a spotlight, you need to understand that people are going to pick at you. That comes along with the territory. Mm-hmm. But under no circumstances are you in a position to actually give these people any attention. Because there's consequences, dire consequences for people that are in higher positions. Now think about what T.I. did and all the people he go after. The girl that was on the stage that was speaking about a case, an allegation that was against him. I'm not going to get into that. What the allegation was, he went after her. Think about Floyd Mayweather when there was an issue with Tiny and he swung on Floyd. Well, think about this for a second, y'all. Floyd has a boxing career to protect, and boxers are held to different standards as far as regular civilians. He knows when he goes after Floyd, Floyd can't really come after him.
Them hands is weapons.
They weapons. He knows who to pick on, just like his son does. We're in the same boat with this nonsense, and then for you to sit here, T.I., Mr. Trouble Man, Rubber Band Man,
Mr. Black Lives Matter.
You understand what I'm saying? For you to basically just say, well, hey, y'all, for a second, let's not talk about the misconduct of my son. Let's only talk about the good that he's done. He graduated school. You know how many kids graduate school around the world that may be 16 or 17 that they don't get the media coverage? Really? Like, it happens.
He better have graduated. All that money and stuff, and you talking about you the best dad in all of America and all of Atlanta. He better have graduated. That's what he's supposed to do. What you want? You want us to all send him a cookie?
And on another tip, before we close out this video, this is unacceptable considering he's in a 2-parent household. I'd expect this if it was just one parent. You got 2 sets of eyes. You got unlimited resources. You got networks that also follow you guys around for your TV show, which I'm not sure if it's, if it's like a big thing or anything anymore. But the fact of the matter is, you, T.I., have the power to control the outcome of your son. But instead of you putting foot to ass, which is what you should be doing, making your son go back up to the Waffle House and apologize to these people. Maybe he should go apologize to the security guard too. But making him go back, you sit here and just basically say that this is just petty, that it's in competition with him graduating from school. No, your son is in competition with him graduating from school. He went out there and done that stupid stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'll do you one better. What T.I. should have done was taken his money back from his son and made him go get a job at the Waffle House and work there for a while to see what it's like and what it takes to work in a place like that. What it means to not be privileged, to have to work and earn something, you know? That's something King may not fully understand or fully grasp. So that's what T.I. should have done if he was a real one, instead of sitting here coming up with this video, making up all types of excuses and trying to tell us what we should and should not focus on.
Well, y'all, I tell you this. If you run around out here with kids that's about that life and you don't get them under control, I don't want to see y'all on the news talking about they was a good person, always smiling, they didn't deserve this stuff. Explain to your children that even if they're not about the life, if they hang with people like that, people will associate with you. And I'm going to tell you, at the end of the day, it'll just be a casualty of the wars that are going on in the streets, or the scenarios that take place when people are just in the wrong place, wrong time. Might be with the right people, but at the wrong time. Right people meaning that these are their so-called friends. Okay? So be careful. Keep your kids out these streets. Speak to them. Stop sugarcoating stuff to your kids. Be direct with them, because this world is not friendly. When you sugarcoat things to your kids, you do them a disjustice, because the instant they enter into the real world, the real world does not care. Ready or not, it's going to take you in. And you can't protect them all the time. Y'all are raising the people that are going to take over this world in the future, and we got to stop raising emotional, grown children. That's what you see right there. A guy that's throwing a tantrum, a child. He's an adult with a child mind. And I'm saying adult based on he graduated high school. I know we're going to talk about the whole age. He's only 17, but you understand what I'm saying.
And like Bobby said, he's educated, but he's not intelligent. There's a difference.
Well, thank y'all for tuning in. I'm Bobby.
And I'm Maya.
And as we say any other time, until next time.
Peace.
Peace.
We got places we can go to figure out what we've done, what we need, what to do. Yeah, I got you, I got you, I got you.